Hey, I wanted to talk about a story that is very personal to me because I went out and bought a PlayStation VR 2 when they first came out. And I got a lot of grief about this from my friends because it was $600 to get the PSVR 2 bundle. And, you know, sales for the PSVR 2 apparently did not do so well. We had Bloomberg was reporting that Sony was stopping the production of the PSVR 2 because no one was buying it. And recently there was an interview with Sony's Shuhei Yoshida, and he was a former exec at Sony, and he said, "Well, I'm sorry I was wrong about the PlayStation VR 2." He doesn't go into a lot of detail in it, but the article goes on to talk about how, the main issue with the PSVR 2 has been its pricing. Okay. So when you have a headset that's $600 and the console is $500, and then there was some feeling from fans that there wasn't a lot of support for the PSVR 2. There weren't enough games available, and they didn't take the PlayStation 1 games, or many of them anyways, I'm sorry, the PlayStation VR, the first one, they didn't take those games and port them over for the PSVR 2. And this caused some people to be upset. And so Sony later, this past summer, lowers the price to $350. And it said one retailer apparently says that they sold more PSVR 2 headsets on that first day than the entire year beforehand. So apparently they're sitting on the shelf at $600 and they start moving at $350. Then the last, starting at Black Friday this last year, Sony marks it down to $350 again. And they do that for 6 weeks until I believe the 2nd of January. And then if you go to Best Buy now, we're back up to $600. And don't forget that if you want to play it on Steam, you're going to need this guy, this PSVR 2 adapter, which is still $60. So this kind of takes me to my next thing, which is, you take a look at the VR market overall. Who's dominating the VR market? Well, it's Meta. And I feel like they've been doing this a little bit longer than Sony. It was Oculus before, and Facebook, Meta purchases it. But on the numbers, the good news is if you're into VR, it did grow in 2024, at least in Q3. Still searching for these Q4 numbers for sales from Meta and Sony, hoping those come out at some point soon. Meta dominated the market 70%, and Sony is second with 6.7. So, Sony is really has a lot of catching up to do on market share. So, go over here on the other hand, Meta, which I picked this one up. This is the Quest 3S for 256 gigabytes. I just bought this at Best Buy. I can't wait to unbox it and compare it against my PSVR 2. And we'll see how that does. So that should be exciting. Also, today, the top VR charts from Steam. Subnautica coming in at number 1, War Thunder and Phasmophobia. Subnautica looks like great colors, great graphics, and top sellers on regular PC on Steam. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This one has a gameplay trailer that shows a couple of different graphic settings that you can have and how that looks. Closing out on mobile, Balatro, Minecraft, and Stardew Valley are the top 3 for mobile gaming. All right, now get out there and have some fun.